Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make static mesh displays in Fallout 4. Now, I just learned how to do this, and I'm combining with what I knew from Skyrim before, so it's going to be a little drawn out. I'm going to try to edit it for time and content, whatever, blah blah blah, later on. But this is going to be basically a tutorial on how to make a display with static items on it that is you can just put into your workshop and build it so that it's already cluttered up and you don't have to mess with it. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to open this up here. I have a lot of the meshes from Fallout already extracted from the BSAs. Use Bethesda Archive Extractor to extract what you want, and I usually open up the Fallout 4 creation kit and find the piece that I want to extract so that I can make sure of the path of where it's at, so when I open it up in the BAE extractor I know where it's at. So I have uh, a lot of meshes opened up. I don't have them all. You could basically pull all the meshes and then you'll have them all in a folder if you want to, but that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to make is I'm going to make a counter now I already made a L-shaped counter for my mod that is all cluttered up with stuff for a vendor, for a level 3 vendor. This is going to be for a level 2 vendor. So we have a couple of different meshes here. This is the center. Now I'm going to use a NIF scope here to open up the high-tech long counter. As you can see, it doesn't have any ends on it, and if you put the caps on the ends over here, it's actually going to be too long for what I'm looking for. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to close that, and I'm going to open up the end cap in NIFScope. I use NIFScope pre-alpha 5 for this. You may want to use something, the newer one, if it works for you, whatever you want. Now I have this open, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to open another copy of this so that there's two of them. Now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go over here to the knee node and right click and go to copy branch. All right, I can close that out. I don't need it. We'll close that. Now I have this right here. Now you're going to want to go ahead to make this counter. I'm going to want to go ahead and right click and paste branch. And what that's going to do is that's going to put this knee node inside of here. Inside of this. This is the parent and this will be a child. So there's actually two of them there. Now you're going to want to right click on that and go to edit. Let me get this right for you guys here. Right click, go to transform, and go to edit. Now use the X. You can see how it moves, how this is moving out like this, and you can see that it's like that right there. Now luckily these counters, if we taken these counters are this particular counter is double-sided, so I'm going to move it back the other way, just using my mouse button to I click on the X there and I'm just using my mouse button to scroll. Now I'm going to want to rotate it probably 180 degrees. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this out like this and get in close here so I can see what I'm working on. And as you can see, there's no sidewall here and there's no sidewall here. That's exactly what I'm looking for. We're going to go ahead and form those two together, accept it, and now what I got is a double-sided counter, which is exactly what I'm looking for, and that is my base mesh. Now what this will do is this will put the collision from both of these into this base mesh. So I'm going to want to go ahead and go to Save As, and I don't want to put it in that one, so I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to go to vendor. This is where I've been working, and I'm going to rename this Bethesda naming, so great. This is going to be Trader Level 2, and we'll leave that just like that, and we're going to go ahead and save that, and we'll close that, and I'll open up my vendors temp, and here's my mesh right here. I'm going to go ahead and open that up in NIF scope pre-alpha 5, and we got that good. Now you're going to want to go ahead and go to the spells, go to sanitize, and you're going to want to check links. If nothing happens, you're completely fine. All right, now you are to do this correctly. Well, it's easier to do it this way. You could do it all in NIF scope, but it's kind of a hassle. I use Body Slide and Outfit Studio. I use Outfit Studio for this because this is great. I just, like I said, I'll just learn how to do it. That's all warmed up. We're going to go ahead and open Outfit Studio, and we'll drop that all back down. And I got a lot of folders open, so I'm just going to close that. I'm going to open that. I'm going to bring Outfit Studio back up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to drag and drop this right here, just like this. And as you can see, it comes up just fine. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop that down, and I don't need this no more, so I'll close that one. I'm going to open up this here. I have in here, I want to put a cash register on my counter, so I have the cash register here, and this one will bring this back up. And this is just a all this is going to be is just a matter of grabbing the mesh, dragging it over, dropping it in. Right? Okay, so you have the counter in right there. Now you're going to want to move it. So you're going to want to go ahead. These are the ones for the cash register. You should have a transform tool here, which is the widget. See the widget come up? And if you click on any piece, the widget will go to that. You don't want to mess with the counter. All you want to mess with is, like in this case, I'm going to use my widget to move just the cash register. So we're going to move that up, and we're going to move that across, and I think we'll go ahead and turn that around, move that over. As you can see, there's some space underneath of it there. We can go ahead and, this is for the up and down, you know, the widgets work just like, pretty much like the arrows. Now if you want to resize it, you can use this here and make it big or smaller or whatever. If you mess up, it's easy enough. You just undo. You can use Control Z too. That works. Now, I can see that I'm probably going to want to bring this over some. So like right there. All right. So now I have my cash register on right there. I got it. This is going to be the front of the counter right here. So what I want to do right now is I want to go to slider, and I'm going to this helps this is going to help later on because it won't pop an error at you. So we're going to conform selected, conform all, and set base shape. Now I want to save this project. I want to go to save project as, and it'll come up here. We're going to call this vendor level 2. Maybe if I didn't have, there we go, vendor level 2, and I'm going to want to go ahead and copy that and paste that in right there. And where it says armor, I'm going to just go ahead and the output path data, we're just going to go ahead and paste that in there, and we'll paste it in right here in the slider set file, and we're going to end it with .osp after it. And we are going to paste it in right there, and here again here at the bottom, paste it in right here and end it with .nef, and we'll go ahead and save. Now what that's going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close Outfit Studio. This is so you can actually save your work if you, I don't know, gotta go someplace, go get a pizza or something, and you wanna save your work, go to load project, and of course you'll have to go to wherever your body slide is stored, which is usually in Fallout 4, data, tools, body slide, and you go to slider sets, and it should be right down here on the bottom. Vendor level 2 OSP. That's good, and we'll open that up, and there it is right there. Okay, let's actually get into the clutter part of it. And what we're going to want to do is I'm going to open this up, and let's see, on the front here, let's put some books, and I happen to have the pre-war book stacks. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just drag it over, drop it in, just like that. And I'm going to highlight it, turn on my widget. You can see that the book's right there, and you can just go ahead and move it around as you need to. That's pretty close. You can adjust it as you need to right there, and then we're like that and getting close. I could probably go up a little bit. Yep, just like that. So now we got some books, and you might want to, I might want to go ahead and I might, because on the back side it might be, you know, it's not clipping through, it'll be all right. Just there. I'm going to move it out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to add another piece in here. Let's see. Oh, what will I put in here? Let's put some clutter from the clean player house from the beginning of the game. We'll go with the newspaper clean. We'll drop that in there. And we'll go ahead and click on it. Oops, didn't want to do that. We'll go ahead and click on it, and we'll pull that up. As you can see, that's a clean rolled newspaper. Now you don't have to use the clean stuff. You can actually go ahead and use, if you're looking for more lore friendly stuff, you can go ahead and actually use the other meshes, the dirty meshes that you find in the game for the post-war stuff. I just feel like I want to do it with a little bit clean. Now, if you want to rotate it, that's what these circles are for. Now I'm going to want to rotate that some more. But I want to get it up close to that. So I'm going to that, and that ought to be good right there. Now I'm put some other stuff down here. Level 2, I'm thinking maybe some dishes, right? We're gonna put the dish 01 large clean in. We're gonna drop that in there, and we're gonna want to go ahead and pull that over, pull it up, and we're gonna pull it out this way, and then we'll go ahead and we'll place this to where we want it. Now, if this is one thing I want to cover before get this on set in here, right? If you want to put more than one object of the same thing, you're probably not going to want to you're probably going to want to stay away from duplicating things, because you could actually, I could actually duplicate this because it gives you the option to duplicate it, but I found that kind of caused a few problems with the game, so I'm not sure why, but it does. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it in here again, and it will rename it. You can see this is dish 01 large clean colon 1 colon 12, and then this one is colon 12 underscore 2. So that's fine there, and then we'll just go ahead and drag that over, drag it up. This takes a little, see, now that I messed up, so Control Z. Sometimes you got to reposition your camera so that it works better. I guess that's a term for it, I'm not sure really. Get in a little closer here, I can see that I'm going to need to drag this out just a little bit. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. I might, no, that's pretty close. And then I'll go ahead and, oh, I can see right now that I'm going to want to go this way, and I'm going to go that way. So what that does is that's going to make a stack of plates, basically. And that's all there is to that. Now, if I want, like, oh, let's say a bowl. So we're going to look for the small dish clean, this one here. We're going to drop that in there. That's actually a small plate. If you want to get rid of something, you just right click delete. It'll pop this at you. Are you sure it cannot be undone? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what I want to do. I just grabbed the wrong one. This one is the one I want right here. We're going to drop that in, and we're going to move it over. Move it out so where I can see what I'm working with. Zoom in here and get it about right about where I want it in the middle there. that. And I'm thinking maybe, now I'm just using to rotate it, I'm just using my right mouse button. I'm just using my mouse wheel, pressing down on my mouse wheel to move it back and forth. So that's, in case anybody's wondering how I'm doing that. All right, now I want to move that down. That looks good, just like that. Now I want to do that again because I want to add a little variety to it. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You can see that it renamed it, so that's what we're looking for. And bring it out, bring it up, over. Now, what I'm going to do, what I mean by variety is they're not, obviously they're not going to, it's really hard to stack bowls even in real life. You're going to find out they one little bump and they get moved around. So thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this up. But here's where the variety part comes in. I'm going to use one of these circles here, which will tilt it. And then I'll move it over a little bit. And that gives me a little bit of variety right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip all the cluttering I'm going to do on this counter. And we're going to get into the actually checking the mesh and putting it in the CK in the mod. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and clutter this up and then I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Now as you can see, I got it all nice and cluttered up. I even went so far as to put in some letter blocks here, MS for Mighty Settlements. Yeah. I added a blotter on top, and you can see I added some stuff back in over here, kind of behind the counter, things like jet and end tabs, got some caps, different stuff like that. Okay, so this counter is done and cluttered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to conform selected. I'm going to conform all, and I'm going to set my base shape. And I'm going to go ahead and save my project just in case. And now I want to go down. I want to go down to export, and I'm going to export it as a NIF. And okay, I need this to be here, and we're going to put it in this one here, and this will be level 2 trader. I'm just going to click it to get the name, but then I'm going to stick it in here, and I'm going to save the mesh. Okay, I'm done there. So now what I want to do is I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go to this, and my level 2 trader that I just saved, I'm going to open that up in NIFScope. And as you can see, it's pretty good there. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to check. I'm going to go to block, sanitize, and I'm going to check links. No errors, so we're good there. Now I'm going to want to take one thing you absolutely want to do is you want to check the bounding spheres. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this. Now if you look down in the block detail, look in your block details, and some people have this in different places. You can't do nothing. You can't actually do nothing with it right now. You can't check it. You actually have to open it up and go to the let me check this right here. Yeah, see, it's got the bounding box, but you don't see the bounding sphere. You go to the first, and I believe that's a BS tri shape. Yep, the first BS tri shape, and you look at the bounding sphere, and we're going to open that up so we can see what we're doing there. Hold on, there we go. And there is the radius. Now, if you click on this part up here, the bounding sphere again, you will see that it covers that area. But I'm going to want to increase that, so I'm going to change that to 100. And then I'm going to click on bounding sphere again. All right, I'm going to want to change the X down, I believe. See if that makes a difference. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. So we'll set it at 40. I think that ought to be good. You basically want to move it up to 44. Basically want to cover everything in the mesh with the bounding sphere. So you want to, so it's going to be 44 there and 100. So the next one down, the bounding sphere. So we're just going to set that to 44. Set that to 100. 100. And that's way off the money. So we're going to add the minus 44 in the front of it. And that's good there. Now we want to move to the next one, which is this one. And if we look at the bounding sphere, you can see it's there. So we're going to want to open that up, and we're going to want to set that to 100. And probably 22, we'll try that. We want to go over more. Try 12. Too much. So we're going to want to go to 44. Just like the other one. And we'll check it, and that's good. Right, now we want to do that one for this one here. Same thing. Go ahead and set my radius to 100. Open this up, make this minus 44, like that, and that shows that everything's there. Now, some people will tell you you actually have to do this for every shape you have in your mesh, but as long as the bounding sphere covers that shape, it will work. And let's say this teddy bear back here covers the teddy bear, and it'll all show up and it won't fade away. So that's good. So we're going to go to sanitize again. We're going to check the links. Everything's good. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to save the mesh just like it is. And we're going to close that. And we're going to copy that. And now we're going to put it into the CK. First, I want to put it in my Fallout 4 data folder. I have a folder where I've been putting my meshes here. This is vendors, and we're going to paste that right in, right there. You can close that. We can close that. And now I'm going to want to go ahead and open up my creation kit. This usually takes a long time to open. If you guys use Creation Kit, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll be right back when it gets all opened. Okay, so I've got this opened up right here. What I'm going to want to do is, first I'm going to want to put my mesh into the game. I'm making a workshop store miscellaneous. This is for the second level one, so I'm going to look down in here. Workshop store miscellaneous 2 counter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate that. And I usually start with a tag with 000 tag so I can find everything. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that copy out there, create a new object. No, because this is a copy. Yes, that's good. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to open that one up. Now I want to go back up to my one I already made, this one here, workshop counter. And I am going to want to, the first thing I'm going to want to do is I am going to want to, where's the keywords? No, not, yeah, keywords. I'm going to want to go ahead and I'm going to want to copy all those because I added in the workshop stackable item keyword here so that I can stack things on this counter if I want to add something in with like OC decorator or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that stack, and I'm going to, in my new object, I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to paste that whole stack in there just like that. Now this is a level 3 workshop. I can change the happiness rating if I wanted to, stuff like that. Nah, don't really want to change none of that. So I have this counter right here. You can see this is the general trader counter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace this mesh. I'm going to, let me do this here again. I'm going to click on the edit button, and then I'm going to click on the edit button here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick the trader level 2 NIF in, and you can see that it changed, so that's all good. So we're going to press OK. Now I'm going to want to fix up the marker for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on interact point here, and I'm going to want to turn that around. So I'm going to make that 180, and then I take and I move this across here a little too far. I want that right about there, and then I want the Y to come back. And that ought to about do it right there. So that is pretty good right there. And that looks good. And that will make it so that my NPCs can use it. I'm going to click OK on that, click OK on that. And what that does is give me the miscellaneous counter too. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make some I'm going to have to make a recipe. So I'm going to type my tag 000 in there. I'm going to click on all, wait for this to come up. It takes a second. There it is. Okay, first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to need to make a recipe for it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate. I already have one made from a miscellaneous store here. I'm going to want to duplicate it. Let that duplicate out. Alright, so now I have the duplicate made. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to rename it, and this will be for store 2. I don't want to create a new object because I want to rename that and put that as counter. because this is going to be an inside counter. I'll open that up. Open this recipe up. Now I don't have to change anything. I might want to change the cap collector here. We'll open that up and we'll make that cap collector 1, and that's a condition. That's okay. Local leader, we'll open that up, and I'm going to make this local leader 1 so that you can, as long as you have these 2 perks, you'll be able to build this counter. So that's good. We don't want 3,000 caps. Let's say we'll go for 1,500 caps. And then I'm going to leave everything else there. And what I'm going to want to do now is I'm going to want to go up here, and in the created object, I want to find my new one that I just made. That's good. So everything looks good right there. Okay. So that will put that in my workshop for right there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the AA markers. Right. So we have this in here. Undo, because I don't want to change nothing in the game. Hold shift. Put this in here just like this. And we're going to drag this in, this new one in, and it goes into the render window just fine, and it doesn't crash the CK. So that's good. Now we're going to want to click on the view button, and we're going to go to collision geometry. And you can see that there's no collision on the stuff on the counter. That's okay. We're not going to be touching on that, touching around with that. There is collision on the counter itself. That is the important part of it. So we're good there. And I'm going to delete that out of the AA markers. So we're all good there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save my mod, which it saves quickly. All right. Now we're going to go in game and test this. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds. All right, guys, here we are at my Nuka World Red Rocket settlement. I just happened to have been here because I was working on a cleanup mod for it. So we'll go ahead and open up the workshop. All right, we got the workshop open. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick this counter over here. This is just for a test, and we'll go to stores, and all the way at the end is my mighty stores trader, and there's that one, and here is the one I just made. We'll go ahead and drop that down just like that. And we can assign somebody to it now if we want. Oh, I don't know. AK. Oh. AK.
Hey. What you need?
I need you to come over and
go check that out. No problem.
She will walk right up to it. And hopefully yeah, and she will stand there and at the counter, and everything works. It has collision, you can't walk through it, so everything works there. And she is doing all the animations like a regular NPC would that you assign to that store. And if you talk to her,
Hey,
Sure, sure. Just keep your shirt on.
most of her shirt's off. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Alright guys, that is my tutorial on how to make a static mesh display and how to add a workshop item, vendor item. I'll be doing a tutorial on how to do this to make the workshop mod in the future, so stay tuned for that. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and remember, if you guys want to help support the channel, look down in the description. You will find a link to my YouTube gaming channel where you can go become a sponsor, or you will find links to my PayPal or Patreon where you can sponsor the channel that way with a one-time tip, or become a dollar a month sponsor through Patreon. Alright guys, until next time, thanks for watching, and remember, keep your powder dry, shoot straight, rookie, and remember that war never changes.